Well, hello everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining me back on the channel. It's me, it's TFG March, and we are back with a brand new series here on the channel of Contractville. This game has been out for a little while now. I think it is the full release now, although it's still showing sort of early access on the side there. And it is super cheap at the minute. Cost me like £5, I think, with all of the DLC. Yeah, definitely grab it while it's that cheap, because it is a really good game. I have played a little bit of it, so I do kind of know what I'm getting myself into and what I'm doing. So we're just going to start a new world and create our character. World name, let's go with Dennerton. There we go. I don't know if that's a real place or not. If it is, I'm sorry to the people of Dennerton, but there we go. Let's start. All right, so here we go. We are here in the player creation. I'm kind of going to go for kind of like a scruffy kind of, just got off the plane, new city, trying to find your way, and we'll see. We'll see how that looks. But let's start off by creating a name. So we're going to go with March. Let's make him a bit not that dark. Let's do that. Obviously male, that's fine. Yeah, let's go with that. A bit darker. What was that? Tip color. Tip color. Yeah, let's make him a bit darker. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look, the fresh off the plane, full beard. Yeah, that looks superb. Eyes, we'll go with light blue. And that all looks good. Okay, get on the bus. We've got a bag here, look. Fresh off the plane. New city, new town, new opportunities to make some money.
Cousin, welcome to Creek Harbor. How was your journey? I hope you arrived comfortably. Life in the city is not like in the town. Everything is more expensive and things are harder. That's why you should find yourself a job as soon as possible. Until you find a place to stay, you can stay in my old caravan in Port Town. I apologize in advance for the mess. I haven't been there for a long time. I would appreciate it if you find a place for yourself quickly and leave the caravan at ease. Just kidding. It's actually a place I want to sell and get rid of. Through my acquaintance in Port Town, I will try to arrange some jobs for you. Expect to hear from me. I'm delighted that you've come to the city. And don't ever forget to care about money while spending it. You might need to fund while trying to have a stable job. Goodbye!
Okay, so that was Bobby, your cousin. And we're going to go over to the caravan now. And, oh wow, okay. So, finally, travel to the caravan and collect any garbage you find. Press Q to discard your current trash bag if it gets full. Clean the floors and the windows. Before finishing the mission at the mailbox, make sure to take out anything you want to keep or sell from the mission house. Notice how when you highlight an item, an interaction prompt appears in the bottom right of the screen, showing you what actions you can take. So we don't actually need the tutorials. I will keep them on for those who haven't played the game. But in short, I won't need them personally because I know kind of what I'm doing with this. So let's go, he says, as he brings out the window cleaning to try and clean some floors. Excellent. Right, so let's get this swept. And I do like how the brush kind of moves with the, moves like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's little things like that, attention to detail. Okay, that's the outside done. Let's get the inside done. We're going to sweep the floors first, do the windows, and then pick up the trash. Okay, that's the floor done. Superb. Now we just need to do the windows. Excellent. You've completed a sub goal. I'll show you more about those in just a minute. And you can see in the top left hand corner, it's got your progress. So collect trash pieces, sweep the dirty floors, which obviously we've done, and then wipe the windows. They are your main goals for each particular part of the mission. And there's one more window here, which has now been done. Superb. Right, let's get the rest of the trash. They were some dirty socks. I don't really think I want to be picking those up. Right.
Hey, hope you're getting used to the city. I talked to some people about finding you a job. So if you get a mail from a stranger, don't be afraid. It's probably from people I'm familiar with. If you need a ride, you can take my three-wheeler, which must be around the caravan. Your cousin, in case you've forgotten, Bobby.
Okay, so you can access your inbox and archive to mails on this page. New missions will come as mails into your inbox. That's great. So, take your first mission from the mail. So let's go here, mail, delete that one because that's obviously old, that's fine. Decorate Douglas for $7,500. Hey kid, it's Douglas, hope you're doing well. Unless I misunderstood the mail that he sent me, you must be Bobby's cousin, because as you know, I'm a little old for this tech stuff. I heard that you've just moved here and might need a job. My daughter is about to bring my granddaughter to visit me. I have a guest room, but this room is not very useful right now. Can you help me arrange the room for them? Sincerely, Douglas. Absolutely, Douglas, we can do that for you. You've completed a side goal, now you can complete the chapter. So earlier on we got a little side goal completion. These are the side goals, so you can find that by entering your tablet and hitting on side goals. Collect trash, sweep dirt, clean a window, use a recycling bin. We can use that now if we wanted to, but I'll wait until we actually get to the mission. So vehicles, I'm not going to read through all that. Basically, typical controls. E to get in, F to start it. If you're on PC, I'm not sure what the commands are for console, but yeah, this is your first vehicle. It's a three-wheeler. It tips quite a lot when you steer, so yeah, do be aware of that. It will never tip over though. You can literally fling this thing round corners and it will not tip over. So don't be afraid to actually go for it. And plus it's not yours, so it doesn't really matter if it gets damaged. Not that there is any vehicular damage in the game. Right, we've parked at the wrong address. Sorry. This never happened, guys. You never saw this happen. There is a mission in that house. So that's why I parked there. Right, now it's telling us to go to a hardware store. So it makes you go to the mission first, and then it tells you to go to a hardware store. You need to buy the relevant items that you need, and then after purchasing items, they'll appear on something that looks like this, and I'll show you kind of how to work all that. But first of all, we need to get into the room that we're dealing with, so we go all the way around here. Okay, so first things first, let's get the windows cleaned. And although there's 4 panes to this will just count as one window, and there's only one window to do, and that's now done. We need to sweep the floor, so let's get our cleaner out. Alright, so this game, as I said at the start, it is absolutely superb. Once you get into it and you start building your own houses, and when I say building your own house, I do mean building it from the ground up. You literally plan the house, you plan the rooms, and then you build it from the ground up. So it is kind of like House Flipper, although this is what I think House Flipper should have been. So if anyone's played House Flipper, you'll know what I mean, but this is what I think it should have been. And there is also a bit of recycling center simulator in here as well. So if you've ever played that, then you'll know what I'm talking about once we get to the kind of that stage. Right, floors are done, windows done. Let's get rid of the trash. Now the trash bag can only carry 15 at the start. So if we try and pick some up, we can't. But we just throw that down there like that, and we can move on. Right, that's all the trash. Let's take this outside so we don't forget about it. And what we can do is we can pop it in there. And that's now completed the sub goal. Yeah, that's fine. To be honest, I'm not going to read through all those tutorials because, you know, it's you'll kind of see how we get along. So very often you'll have boxes that you put in here from the recycling, and you'll still have numbers. Each bin needs 5 bits of the various different rubbish, so waste, glass, paper, metal, plastic, to produce a box. Okay, if you've got several left, like 2, 1, 2 here, for example, what you can do is you can click it and it'll create another box like that. Okay, it's not clicking. It's okay, so it's not going to do another box at the moment. So let's see our trash bin. Yeah, our trash bin's empty. So let's see if we can get it to go back into our trash, which for some reason it's not letting us. So there is a thing where you can, if there isn't enough rubbish in any of the boxes, there is a thing that you can get it to go back into your trash bag, like into here, so you can use it on the next property. But for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to do that, which is strange. But there we go. Right, okay. Anyway, never mind. We need to get rid of this stuff. So what we'll do is we'll go to our map, and we'll go to this place, the advanced factory, and let's get moving with that. As you can see, it does tip. You can, as I say, you can literally throw this thing into corners and it won't flip over. The game just doesn't have those physics built into it, so yeah, you'll be okay. Okay, so here we are. We have arrived, and obviously we've got different coloured boxes, different coloured bins, so match them up, basically. Kind of straightforward. Let's go yellow there, and then recycling these will give you money. So these are very useful. This is the first stage of the recycling process. So you can upgrade this later on. Obviously, when we get to later episodes, we'll be doing that because it is a really, really good way to make money. In fact, the general consensus among people who've played the game is that this is actually better a way of making money than it is to actually do sort of general jobs. So you see what happened there. Basically, the empty trays came back out. I collected all the tickets from the various bins. You take them over to this dude, and he gives you, you've got coupons, and then he gives you money for doing that. So we can complete the side goal. So let's get that done. Complete chapter. And that is that. Okay. Should have waited really until I'd had more recycled items, but there we go. Never mind. Okay, let's go to the hardware store. Whoa. We're out here doing tricks. First day on the new city. We're doing tricks. Cousin's not going to be happy with all the scratch marks, but there we go. bring this thing back with the door hanging off. Whee. Although this tuk-tuk is great. This is like a superb first starting vehicle. There is a car lot there. We will be visiting that. There is a vehicle I do want to get. So yeah, we'll be doing that very soon. Not in this episode, but we will be doing it very shortly. Always remember to turn your engine off. You will waste fuel. Right, so we need a plaster bucket. So we'll grab one of those. We need a paint bucket. Now, some missions will require you to use a certain type of paint. You'll know which paint it is because there's a little M there that's basically for the mission. This guy wants chocolate paint. Absolutely no idea why. I think that's all he needs. Plaster a wall, paint a wall. Yes, right, okay. So we're going to buy that. Okay. So here they are on the tray. If you hold the shift button or left shift, again, I'm not sure what it is for console, I'm sorry about that, but if you hold the left shift, right click, it will then drag the next item into your hand, and you can just do that. Useful when you've got, you know, sort of 10, 11 items there, and you want to get them all onto your truck. So, right, let's head back. Now I think it's going to be the next one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to count these actually, because 2, 3, 5, 9. Yeah, so there's enough to get a... There's enough to get them back into my... Ah, I just figured it out. Yeah. So if you come up to it, again, console commands, I'm sorry, but if you come up to it, hit E on keyboard, it will then put the trash that you haven't got a box for, or haven't got enough for a box for, back into your trash container. And that means you can basically take it with you to wherever else you're going, and you don't leave it outside a customer's house, because once you've completed your work here, these disappear. So and you basically lose your trash. So, and trash in this game is actually very valuable. So yeah, don't do that. Right, first thing we need to do is plaster the walls. So let's get that done. So we get our plaster tool here, plaster the walls. Obviously we are very low level, so we haven't got the necessary skills to speed this up. We've completed a sub goal. Alright, and the last little bit here. Done. Plastering, done. Let's take the plaster back outside. Put that in the van, and we'll grab our chocolate paint. Why is it chocolate, man? I don't understand it. Let's put some lights on in here, because it's getting a bit gloomy. There we go. Perfect. Right. Let's grab our paint, and again this will be very slow because we don't have the required skills to make it any faster. So, but those will come. So yeah, don't panic if it's very slow at the minute. All right, so that is all 4 walls done, and yeah, it's really dark in here. Like, I don't understand that color choice, but there we go. I am not the customer. I am the bloke that's come to do the work. So there we go. That is the plastering and the painting all done. Now, obviously, the room progress is 100%, and the general progress is also 100%. So technically we could complete the mission now, and we will get the 7,500 that we were promised, and everything is hunky-dory. You can stop the mission now if you so wish. However, there are design points, and these are optional. So you can buy things for the room. So things like a bed, a wardrobe, decoration, radiator, and a rug, just to make the room a bit more homely. You will get reimbursed for these purchases. So these are things that will be paid back to you. So it's fine to pay them out. As you walk through a house, you'll notice there are other things that are required. So as you can see here, light switch, radiator. In the bathroom he wants a trash bin, or a rubbish bin as we would say. So ideally what you want to do is deck the whole house out with all of the optional objectives. As I say, you do get reimbursed for these, so they pay you the price that you paid for those items, so you don't lose any money for doing it. But what it does do is it increases your experience and it increases your fame as well. And your fame's really important for getting better missions in the future. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the house, and we're going to work out what, exactly what it is we need. So we need a radiator for the living room. I believe we need several radiators. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through the house, and I'm going to figure out how many we need. So we need 1, 2. We need 1 in here, that's 3. And we probably need 1 in here as well, and that's 4. Yes, right, so we need 4 radiators. Keep that in your minds. Or I should keep it in my mind, because I may forget about all this once we get there. We also need a bed, a wardrobe, 2 decorations, and a rug. So what I'll do is I'll get the 4 radiators, and then I'll get the other bits that we need as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the furniture store, and we'll get those items, and then we'll work out what we need from the rest of the house. Whee! Okay, so we want radiators. We want 4 of those. We want a bed. Let's get a single bed. Let's make it white. Blanket. Let's make that white as well. Pillows are white, but the body, let's make it chocolate to match the room. We need a wardrobe. Let's get one of those. It needs decorations. Oh, decoration. So let's get a clock, and let's get a... I don't know what else to get. Not corkboard. That looks a bit silly. Let's get a record. And we also need a rug as well. In fact, we need 2 rugs. So I'm going to grab 2 rugs. Buy. Yes. Completed a sub goal. Excellent. And as you can see, they all end up out here. Now, again, hold shift, right click, and your inventory is full. So what I'm going to do is take all this stuff over, come back, grab the rest, and I will see you back at the house. Okay, we are back and we have got all of our stuff. I did put the plaster and the paint on here. Same thing as the shop to the three-wheeler. You can take it from the three-wheeler, hold shift, right click, and it just drops it all onto the mat. If there's something not on one of these mats, so like for example down here, you cannot do that same action, so it has to be on a mat to the car and vice versa. But for now what we'll do is we will get stuck into putting everything in the room. So in order to unpack a box, you hit R on your keyboard and basically throw it wherever you want to. There's no kind of like extra points you get for making a room look, you know, if you wanted to put say you've got a decoration and it was a plant pot, there's no kind of extra points you get for putting that plant pot on a shelf or anything like that. You could put it on the floor if you wanted to, and that would be absolutely fine. Right, this is the bed. So what we'll do is we'll put the bed there. So this is our decoration. So we're going to put the record up on the wall here. So if you notice, it says decoration there, 0 out of 2. If we put it on the wall, it says 1 out of 2. So that's one of them done. So you kind of know how far along the process you are. Let's get the other decoration, which is a wall clock, which is great. So that can go there like that. So literally we just need a radiator and a rug. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to put all the radiators in here now. So this, as you can see, radiator 0 out of 1, 87%, 100%. So that room's done. Another radiator, I believe, was needed in here somewhere. But as to where that's going to go, do you know what? I'm just going to throw it there. As I say, it doesn't matter. Normally a radiator would go under a window in a room, but that's kind of, yeah, it's by the by. That just needs a rug. I know the hallway needs a radiator. So what we'll do is we'll put that in there like that. Superb. And I believe this is the final radiator. Excellent. And that can go under that window there. Excellent. So the hallway's done. The bedroom is done. The kitchen needs a light switch. That's something we get from somewhere else. That's fine. We'll sort that out. The living room is done. And we still need a trash bin for the bathroom. So these are the rugs. Oh, I didn't select a colour, but okay, whatever. Is this going to fit? I think what I might do, give me 2 seconds. Let's just see if I can, aha. There we go. Perfect. Sometimes you just have to move things about, close the door, etc. If the item you're trying to put in there is quite large, like those rugs, they're huge. There doesn't really seem to be a small rug, you know, like a... that looks a little... Again, I know there's no design kind of points or anything like that. There's no, you know, where things go gets you more points, etc. But sometimes it is just nice to make it look nice. Yeah. Nah. Okay. Right, that's it for... So that's it for the lounge. For living room. For the kitchen, we need a light switch, a trash bin for the bathroom. Done, done, done. I think everything else is done. Yep, perfect. So we just need a light switch and a trash bin. So what we'll do is, I'll tell you what we'll do actually. We will take the paint and the plaster with us. And I want to go to the pawn shop here. And I want to just get rid of this paint. So anything that you don't use anymore, you can put it on the pawn shop tray there. You can come over to this guy, you can sell it, and he'll give you some money for it. Perfect. So let's obviously I've kept the plaster because we'll be using that again, but the chocolate paint, it's, yeah, we won't be using that again, so you can sell that. Wait for that taxi to go past. Right, so first thing we need to do is go back to the hardware, the furniture store and get a trash bin. And then we need to go to the electronics store and we need to get a light switch. I think it's the electronics store we get those from. Right, trash bin. Let's just get one of those. Perfect. Yeah, because I think if you put in light, it might help if I spelt it correctly. If you put in light, all it will bring up is actual lights. It doesn't bring up any kind of switches or anything like that. I will double check the hardware store just in case, but I do believe it's the electronics store we get those from. Let's have a look. So, light. Ah, no, light switch. There we go. Good job I checked it. Right. You're about to pay $3. Are you sure? Yes, I am. I want one. Right. Spin this around. Almost on 2 wheels. Okay. So let's grab the... let's put that back in there. Right. Let's grab the light switch, which needs to go in the kitchen. So we'll put that on there. Now, in order for it to actually, so at the moment you can see the light isn't working. If we hit E, the light isn't working. However, if you hit Q on your light switch, it brings up this little thing here, and you can select it to the light you want, and now the light's on. Light off, light on.
Wax on, wax off. Don't forget to breathe. Very important.
Everything is done. So, out here you come to the letterbox, finish the task, and as you can see, it's going to give you payments for the items that you purchased. So light switch, we paid $3, you'll get $3 back. So suddenly our 7,500 has turned into 8,500. So we've got 260 fame and 4,680 experience from doing that. And that should give us some skill points. Okay. So what we'll do first of all is we'll get our side goals done to give us even more money. We'll get rid of Douglas because we've dealt with him. Carol is next door, literally next door. So yeah, that's but that will be for the next episode. We were just going to do this first mission just to have a look around and see what was what. So, but what we will do before we go any further is we will apply some of these skill points. So we've got 2 in each category. So base skills, I do want to use that one, and I also want to use that one. So movement speed, pack unpack speed goes up, and handcraft, the amount I can carry. The package usage area, so the package usage area is those trays that you'll see there, and as you can see, as I said, those trays have disappeared, the skips disappeared, the bins have disappeared. So it's really important to make sure you take all of your rubbish with you before you end the task. So that's that done. I didn't want that, I wanted skills. There we go. Tool skills. So it's worth having a look at the kind of next mission if you if you want to, because you want to paint walls, replace flooring, buy furniture, take out furniture. So kind of align your skills to that if you can. So they want to paint the walls, so we'll put one into paint, and they also want to change the flooring. So what we'll do is we'll put one into demolish. And in terms of our special skills, I'm going to put it into that, and I'm going to put it into that. So store discount, basically you get a discount for anything that you buy. And technology opens something called mission needs. So when we now go to a shop, we can open the mission needs, and it will tell us exactly what we need to complete that mission. So there we go. That's literally it. That was episode 1, guys. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. It is greatly appreciated when I do get somebody new on board. So thank you ever so much for those people who have already joined the channel and are subscribing. Also follow me on all of my other socials. You'll find them on my link tree, on my YouTube bio. But until the next time, guys, have a very good day. Bye bye.